Welcome to the F3 Podcast,
where we talk food, football, and fantasy football.
Okay, welcome to another episode of the F3 Podcast. Wait, not a real episode of the F3 Podcast.
This is a bonus episode.
I'm Chef Jonathan Frazier.
And I'm Erin Haluschak.
And today we're packing. We're getting ready to go.
This is like a special edition episode because we are just getting ready to head en route down to San Francisco for Super Bowl 60.
So right now we're getting the camera ready, the lights, the microphones, everything set up so that we can get down there to really showcase what San Francisco has to go on.
That's right. We've got some great interviews lined up, some surprise guests. We're going to be trying a few kind of different areas, some like football, non-football related things, definitely some food related options. We've got some exciting kind of events that we're going to cover that's going to be part of that. So I am really, really excited for what is to come within the next week. Of course, the game as well. There's that minor detail.
So, of course, let's talk a little bit about this game because this was a bit of a nail biter for both of us here. We have the Patriots and your favorite
Seattle Seahawks. My dream rematch, Super Bowl rematch did come true. So I'm very, very excited to see this game. Really, I was shocked actually that my prediction came true in a very good way. But I was surprised because as much as I wanted Seattle to win, I definitely thought LA was the stronger team. And I'm very glad I got proven wrong.
And it came down to the end there a little bit too.
It did, the last 3 minutes or so.
So it was some incredible football this weekend. Even the Patriot game was, considering it was a whiteout.
It was like the middle of a blizzard. And I mean, it was a fairly low scoring game, which is pretty common when you have weather conditions like that. But there was really no clear winner again until like later on in the game. So it kept everybody on their toes. It was two really interesting games for the NFC and the AFC championships.
I was impressed just to see a rookie quarterback actually pulling his weight out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was very impressive. Very, very impressive. And yeah, it'll be really cool to see somebody as young as Drake May into the Super Bowl. I know we were watching some of the post-game interviews that said that he was in San Francisco the last time they hosted a Super Bowl, but he was in the 300 level watching the game. And, fast forward a little more than a decade later, and now he is actually going to be in that game. So on the field instead. So that's kind of a cool moment for somebody so young and just, really, really making quite the career in the NFL and for the Patriots. And to have Mike Vrabel as coach, he won a Super Bowl as a player with the Patriots, and now he's the coach. And I think he will be, if they do win, he will be the first coach and player to win a championship with the same team. So that's pretty neat as well, or first one in a while for sure. But
that's right. Mm-hmm. So what are your predictions going forward here? I know who you want, but how do you feel about this lineup going forward?
I do feel pretty good, I have to say. I think the Seahawks on the Vegas odds are certainly the favored team. They do have a very strong defense, and that was certainly on display. It's been on display the entire season. And I think if Sam Darnold is healthy, I know his shoulder, rotator cuff, and oblique was kind of giving him a little bit of issues, but I think he'll be fine. I think Drake May, as good as a quarterback as he is, again, there's something to be said about experience, and that's where Sam Darnold definitely has the upper hand. He was definitely not regarded as a great quarterback by any means and bounced around from team to team, but in these last 2 seasons in the NFL, he's certainly proven different. So I think I will give this game to the Seahawks. I would be surprised if they lose. I think the Patriots will certainly give them a run for their money. I think it'll be a close game, just like the Los Angeles one. But I say Seahawks by 6.
6? That's what
I'm going for.
All right. Well, I'm not even going to throw out a prediction because I don't think I have credibility to throw one out there at.
But you do have credibility with food.
Oh, and this is let's get into a little bit about what we want to do.
Yeah.
Because we're heading down. We're going to the stadium, Levi's Stadium, right? We're going to get in there. We're going to check out this place. We've got a whole bunch of things lined up. And for me, I'm looking at trying out some of the food of the Bay Area.
Yes.
And maybe connecting with a few chefs down there. So I know we've got a bunch of opportunities. But there's certain things that I really, really love about the Bay Area, and some of the dishes that I was sort of thinking that maybe we're going to get a little chance to sample on. So I'd love to get my hands on a nice cioppino, right? So a nice fish stew, tomato and wine, like maybe there's some clams, mussels, shrimp in there, because of course you've got Fisherman's Wharf down there. So
you certainly do, and you've got Napa Valley just around the corner.
Exactly. So great combination. Hopefully we'll get our hands on some Dungeness crab on there. Of course, you know what? The old mission style burrito, right? There's a great dish to look at. Of course, you can't go wrong with a little clam chowder. And if you're doing clam chowder, a beautiful sourdough bowl, right? So those are the things I'm looking forward to. And I think there's going to be some other great foods down there. Maybe we'll get some dim sum because there's that ethnic group down there, as well as looking at garlic noodles, a little Vietnamese San Francisco classic, of course. I'm looking forward to it. And myself being a bit of an ice cream guy, having a little bit of experience, it is definitely a place to hit up for ice cream because I imagine there's amazing ice cream shops.
Yes, I mean,
there.
I've only been to San Francisco once, and that was about 12 or 15 years ago. And I remember it was the end of January, early February, around the same time, and there was a independent ice cream shop basically every block and street corner. I remember taking the streetcar, and I was just like looking at all the ice cream shops, and I was thinking, as someone who's not a foodie, I'm like, there is an abundance of ice cream shops here.
Yeah. So I think we're going to do good on food. And with that, we're going to go see a little dinner.
We've got a really exciting event, which will tie in very nicely with the podcast. We're actually very fortunate to be going to an event called the Taste of the NFL. And it's an event, it's actually a fundraising event. And what it is it's an NFL sanctioned event on the Saturday night before the Super Bowl. And it's essentially very similar to kind of what we have been doing all season. But here they bring in 32 chefs from across the US, one chef from every location where there is an NFL team, and they create a signature dish that's based upon that particular region. And they have samples, and there's going to be wineries from Napa who have all of their wines on sample, and it's going to be really exciting. I'm really curious to see, because I feel like this is something that we've literally talked about for an entire 2 years, and now to kind of see that culmination in person in kind of a different way. But I'm really curious to see what it'll bring.
I'm thinking about doing a little judging on chefs and seeing what they come down with. Like, let's bring up that bar, and I'm just super interested to be in there and connect with other chefs and find out what they're doing with some of those. And I think maybe we're going to steal some of those ideas.
Yes.
And some of those recipes 100% so that we can use them here on the F3 podcast.
Yeah, I'm really curious because there's going to be I'm sure some interesting creations, maybe some we've talked about, maybe some we haven't talked about. And I'm excited to see what that evening might bring.
Oh, it's going to be a great one. So let's also talk about what other things. So we've got a super fan from the island that we're going to be able to hopefully get connected with and find out his story, because I think that's incredible, and especially his connection to the Seahawks, right?
Yes, we will tease it a little bit now, but we've got a really fun guest who is from Vancouver Island, but now resides in Seattle. And we'll just say it's Captain Seahawk. And he will be heading there with the team, and we're looking at connecting with him. And really, he's got quite the interesting story, not only how he became Captain Seahawk, but the story behind his own personal kind of voyage, literally around the world, and how he ended up in Seattle.
That's amazing. I'm really looking forward to that interview. And I mean, I've heard some stories, and I've watched some interviews with him, and he seems like an incredible person. So, but that's just one of the ones. We've got other things happening as well, too.
Definitely.
So maybe we're going to go head down to an aquarium and check that out and see what's happening with food in that end.
And there might be a little BC connection with that as well.
Exactly. And then, of course, we're going to be on Radio Row.
Yes.
And part of Radio Row is at least we're going to be here a day early. Last year, we showed up almost too late, and we didn't get as much as we wanted to. We did have an amazing interview last year with a friend now from the Beyond Bourbon Street.
Right. Yeah, that was a great interview. But coming a little bit earlier, we're hoping to get a few more interviews done and have a chance to explore. And I think part of what I'm really looking forward to as well is the fact that you can connect with just so many fans, because sort of next door to Radio Row is the Super Bowl experience, which is an opportunity. It's kind of like an interactive convention center, essentially, is the best way to describe it, for all the fans across all 32 NFL teams can come and just experience. There's interactive displays. There's an actual locker room you can walk through. There's food samples. There's merchandise. There's historical NFL relics that are there. It's quite an incredible experience just to walk through basically a convention center floor, all focused around football and the NFL. And we met some really amazing people there last year, and we're hoping to do the same again this year.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to that. As well as I loved when we ran around the outside of the stadium last year and got predictions from everyone.
Yes, that's fun. And we will do the same this year too.
So good news is Patrick Mahomes is not going to step on your toe this year.
That is correct. Although that was my claim to fame. That was pretty fun. How many people can say that?
Well, let's see if someone else can step on your toe.
I'll just like put my foot out. See, here you go. I'm not trying to trip you. Just step on it. Patrick Mahomes did.
There we go. But anyways, it's just one of those prizes of losing the Super Bowl, I guess, is stepping on your toe.
I'll take it. It's the consolation prize.
So now, if anyone, of course, stay tuned and listen
Yes.
to our podcast, because I know we're going to do a couple podcasts from when we're down there. So we're going to be on a couple different venues that you can follow us alongside. So we're definitely going to be doing a bunch of live streaming.
Yes.
When we're down there. So you can follow us on the F3 podcast on TikTok, Instagram,
And Facebook.
So we're going to be putting those up, of course, just so that you can come along with us and be part of the adventure. And as well as not just the F3 podcast, we'll also be sharing a lot of this on my own personal podcast, which is the Edible Valley podcast. So we're going to share some of the stories like that. Unfortunately, William's not going to come because we only got 2 of us on.
Well, we do have an extra suitcase. So.
That's true. He would fit.
You would.
So you can listen to us, follow us on all of those sites. So we're going to be on TikTok and all of those
All the social
great ones,
sites.
as well as bringing out a couple podcasts. I know we're going to have some help with streaming and getting the message out there about the adventure and who we get to meet down there. And I'm super excited. So.
And there might be a giveaway or 2.
Oh, that's right. Maybe
Yeah.
coming back with some merch. So if you're keen on a little bit of merch from the
60th Super Bowl.
we got you covered.
We do.
I think we should leave it at that. I think we've hit our time and given enough teaser to get people hopefully as excited as we are about this little adventure.
Absolutely. And we will see you in San Francisco.